Good morning, everyone, and I want to thank you all for joining us today. I think this is the biggest crowd we've ever had at a press conference, so it's really, really neat, really appreciate it. We have two topics we're going to talk about today. First is the city's Black Affiliation Advisory Council will honor the 100th anniversary of the Booker T. Washington Center and also recognize accomplishments of Erie's Black Wall Street. And second, we will congratulate Casey Wells, past Executive Director of Erie Events, for his wonderful, wonderful contributions to life here in Erie. As we continue with our Black History Month recognitions, I'd like to highlight two great local partners. Homer Smith, a member of the HBAAC, which stands for the Historically Black Affiliations Advisory Council, will give a brief history of the council and will also help me introduce the two agencies that we'll be recognizing today. Homer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving me this opportunity today. The HBAAC is composed of representatives from the Erie-based Prince Hall Masons, the Bay City Lodge number 68, as well as national Panhellenic fraternities and sororities. Those historically Black universities-based groups are also known as the Divine Nine and the Panhellenic Greek system. Together, the lodge members, the fraternity and sorority members act as a focus group for the city to assist with diversity, equity, and inclusion within the city government. Under the direction of City Community Liaison Michael Outlaw, who is here today with us, the HBAAC highlights critical achievements of African American citizens and businesses. We have two of those community organizations to recognize today. The first turns 100 years old this year. The second is much newer, but just as relevant and critical to our city. Let's start with the Booker T. Washington Center. The Booker T. Washington Center was chartered 100 years ago as a community-based human services organization. Its mission is to improve the conditions of work, play, study, health, and living conditions for the Erie community. And of course, it is named after Booker T. Washington, a formerly enslaved person born in 1856 in Virginia. He became an author, educator, and activist, championing educational and economic self-determination. He founded Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, known today as Tuskegee University, one of America's premier historically Black colleges and universities, known as HBCUs. The values of Erie's Booker T. Washington Center are equality, unity, justice, community, and education. Mayor Schimber will now present the city's proclamation.
Thank you very much, Homer, and I'm honored to present this proclamation to the Booker T. Washington Center. I'm confident that the center will remain here for the next 100 years serving our community as well. Chantel, will you come up and join me to accept this proclamation? Chantel, of course, is the center's executive director. So, in recognition of the Booker T. Washington Center for its dedication to the Erie community, whereas the Booker T. Washington Center in Erie, PA, was founded 100 years ago on January 2nd, 1923, as a community-based human services organization. Whereas, named after the last educator, writer, and speaker, Booker T. Washington Center, the center strives to support and maintain a healthy and flourishing community by focusing on the quality educational programs and resources available to the public. Whereas the Booker T. Washington Center provides a multitude of programs, including after-school tutoring programs led by Mercyhurst University students, character building and team-focused youth sports programs, and Carol Troop's Baby Boomer Group, which helps keep our older generation connected as well. Whereas the Booker T. Washington Center also provides services including GED preparation and testing, alcohol prevention and outreach, employment training, literacy programs, the Summer of Success programs, income tax assistance, and the Women's, Infants, and Children's Program, or WIC for short. Now therefore, I, Joseph E. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, hereby recognize on this 23rd day of February 2023 the Booker T. Washington Center for their 100 years of dedication to the Erie community. The support and services offered by the Booker T. Washington Center have been invaluable for this entire community the entire time. Thank you very much, Chantel.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. On behalf of the Board of Directors, staff, and the constituents we serve, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to receive this proclamation on behalf of the Booker T. Washington Center. We're excited to receive and grateful for this proclamation and the recognition from the Mayor's office today. The Booker T. Washington Center has served many families throughout its years of service to the community, and would like to thank all of those who have given any support, from the volunteers to advocates and also the funders. Lastly, we will be having a centennial celebration on July 22nd with some other events to be scheduled. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you, and I'd like to say one other thing to my board member, Mr. Junius Johnson, and to anyone and everyone that has supported Booker T. Washington Center over the years. Thank you. God bless.
Mr. Hilliard, we're also equally excited and grateful for your leadership at the Booker T. Washington Center. Let's give him another round of applause. Our second recognition today is Erie's Black Wall Street. It hasn't been around for 100 years, but that's not to say that EBWS hasn't accomplished big things in just 5 years. It was created in 2018 by friends Angelica Spraggins, Devonna Paisley, and Kyra Taylor. They wanted to make a difference in Erie's black business community and wanted to celebrate and uplift the black community. The trio later brought on Dr. Rhonda Matthews and Brian Arterberry to form Erie's Black Wall Street as a nonprofit to further their impact. The collective provides an online platform for black businesses owners to connect with people and cultivate meaningful relationships. Erie Black Wall Street's vision is to create a culture of black excellence and wealth in Erie that serves as an inspiration for generations to come. And as a reminder, EBWS will host the Greenlight Business Awards this coming Saturday at the Erie Art Museum at 6 p.m. and is also hosting Black Ice Night with the Erie Artists on Tuesday, February 28th at 6 p.m. And now the Mayor's proclamation.
Thanks very much, Homer. And Kyra, would you join me for the proclamation? This is in recognition of Erie's Black Wall Street and its dedication to the Erie community. Whereas, Erie's Black Wall Street was created in 2018 by Angelica Spraggins, Devon Paisley, and Kyra Taylor. With the help of Dr. Rhonda Matthews and Brian Atterberry, they made Erie's Black Wall Street a nonprofit. Whereas Erie's Black Wall Street has successfully designed programs which help fill crucial gaps to support members of the black community. These programs include financial literacy, a resource center, pathways to homeownership, entrepreneurial support, social gathering, a community calendar, an app, a website, and a virtual store, a lot of stuff. Whereas Erie's Black-owned business directory, provided by Erie's Black Wall Street, promotes over 100 locally owned black-run businesses, including health and wellness, restaurants, catering, real estate, fashion, and much, much more. Whereas Erie's Black Wall Street has provided free credit repair services and has given at least $35,000 in assistance for first-time homebuyers toward their down payment and closing costs to aid in the pathway to home ownership. Now, therefore, I, Joseph E. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, hereby recognize on this 23rd day of February 2023 Erie's Black Wall Street for their continued dedication to promoting and uplifting members of the Erie black community. And now Kyra will say a few words. Congratulations, Kyra.
Thank you, Mr. Smith and Mayor Schember. We are honored to receive this proclamation from you all, recognizing our contribution and commitment to the Erie community. It is our hope to continue to strengthen our relationship with the community, build bridges, and continue to empower our BIPOC community. Thank you.
So during Black History Month, I'm honored to recognize so many initiatives, people, and groups in the Black community that are making our city much better. We should and do honor them. We appreciate them and continue to work with them year-round, not just during February here. Okay, our final presentation today will be a look back at the amazing career of Casey Wells, who recently retired as Executive Director of Erie Events, which was once known as the Erie County Convention Center Authority. Are you ready for that? Casey has been with Erie Events for 39 years. In that time, he's been a part of many projects there, all of which have made our community and event facilities more inviting to visitors and to residents. Through it all, Casey led the way. The list is long, but here are a few highlights. For instance, the $44 million, 145,000 square foot Bayfront Convention Center was opened in 2007. It was followed by the Sheraton Erie Bayfront Hotel and then the Courtyard Erie Bayfront Hotel, both of which are connected with enclosed walkways to the convention center. When I attend events at the convention center, like the Barber Ball, Knockout Homelessness, which was Tuesday night, and so many other events throughout the year, I'm thrilled that we can share with visitors and residents and great facilities that host events and showcase our city. And Casey led the way. Beginning in the early 2010s, Erie Events renovated both the Erie Insurance Arena and UPMC Park. The arena was modernized with seating and amenities. At the ballpark, the UPMC Park Stadium Club was added along with a huge new scoreboard and upgraded clubhouse facilities for the baseball players themselves. When I attend an Otters or a Seawolves game, I'm proud of how we present ourselves through these beautiful facilities to our teams and to Erie sports fans. And Casey led the way. And then there's the Warner Theater, the gem of our gem city. In Erie Events just completed a $37 million renovation of the iconic, historic Art Deco Theater, which opened in 1931 in the heart of our downtown. Now, with its bigger, improved sound and better facilities for performers, we can finally host national acts that literally couldn't fit through the door before. And the marquee has been completely rebuilt. There's nothing better than driving or walking down State Street and being greeted by the marquee that lights up the entrance to the theater. And again, Casey led the way. So thank you, Casey, for this vision and leadership that you brought to these and other projects during our tenure at Erie Events. Next, I have a proclamation to honor Casey. Casey, would you join me at the podium for this? Thank you. Let's have a round of applause. So this is in recognition of Casey Wells and his dedication to the city of Erie and Erie Events here. Whereas Casey Wells has served the Erie community area dutifully for over 39 years. First working as the general manager for the Erie County Fieldhouse from 1979 to 1983, when he became the operations manager for the then Erie Civic Center, now known as the Erie Insurance Arena. In 1992, Casey was named the executive director of the Convention Center Authority, now known as Erie Events. Whereas, under Casey's leadership, the Convention Center Authority, Erie Events, has overseen multiple projects taking place amounting to over, are you ready for this? $300 million invested in downtown Erie. Yes, thank you. That's really good. Whereas through Casey's vision, Erie has seen the creation of the Convention Center complex, including the Convention Center and surrounding hotels, the construction of UPMC Park, home of the Erie Seawolves, the renovation of Erie Insurance Arena, home of the Erie Otters, and the rehabilitation of the historic Warner Theater. Whereas Erie Events and Casey Wells continue to make our beautiful Bayfront, providing nearly 4,000 feet of public walkways with native landscaping, fishing pods, lighting, and seating around the convention center on the land that formed the GAF property formerly. Now, therefore, I, Joseph E. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, hereby recognize on his 23rd day of February 2023, Casey Wells for his vision, commitment, and dedication to Erie Events, the City of Erie, and residents of Erie. Thank you, Casey, for all your hard work, for the multiple projects you have foreseen. Casey, would you like to make a few comments? Sure. One other thing, though, before I turn the mic over to you, I do have a key to the city to present to Casey as well. So, thank you. I'll leave that for you, too.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, the board, management, and staff of the Convention Center Authority, many of whom are here today. My chairperson, former chairperson, I guess, since I'm retired, Gwen White is here with us today. But, you know, I can remember being in this chamber back in the mid-'80s begging for $150,000 to keep the arena open. How times have changed. It was very difficult times, but we had a lot of support from a visionary board, most elected officials, certainly not all, but it was just perseverance and continuing to pull together both Democrats and Republicans to make all things possible. When I look back at those days, we had a $600,000 budget. It's 50 times that now. And all of that spins economic impact and positive economic results for our community. I think people are often surprised to learn that nowadays no local tax dollar supports us whatsoever. We don't get any money from the city, we don't get any money from the county. In fact, just the opposite. We generate money and provide help to the city in many, many ways, as well as to the county and certainly to our community. It's been something that I've been fortunate to have a wonderful board, a wonderful staff, and be able to help shape our community. The work is not done. I feel very comfortable in retiring at this point in my career because we have such a strong board, management, and staff at our authority who will continue the tradition of providing an opportunity for our citizens, residents, visitors, etc., to make Erie a better place to live, work, and play. Again, thank you, Mayor, for this recognition. It's humbling, it's heartening, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey, and best wishes and a happy retirement to you. We'll miss you, but you certainly deserve it, so enjoy. Casey, I have to tell you one more thing. I had a call from Tom Doolin just yesterday, and Tom, as you know, was on your board for 22 years. He felt bad that he could not be here today for this event honoring you, but Tom told me that you are a great leader with great ideas. He wishes you all the best in your retirement. You have made changes in the area that will last for generations to come, and thank you very much. Can we have another big round of applause for Casey? And thanks again to HBAAC, to the Booker T. Washington Center, to the Erie Black Wall Street representatives for all you've done for Erie and all that you will do, and for joining us here today. That concludes this week's press conference. Please continue to follow us on social media for all the latest updates on everything happening here in the city of Erie. Everyone who spoke is now available for interviews. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching on TV as well. Thank you.